Hi! If you're thinking about breeding mice, you probably want to see what it's like to clean out those mice. So I thought it would be a good idea to show you my cleaning routine. So take a look. I start out cleaning day by laying out all of the clean bins for the rack that I'm cleaning. I only have one rack right now, so that's just this rack. You can see that I have to remove the nipples from the watering system first. In my next iteration, I'll be making the rack so that you can remove the bins without removing the nipples because it's just a super waste of time. You can also see I have a little help with me today. I put just Tractor Supply pine shavings as bedding. I'm experimenting right now with some other beddings, so you'll see that I put hemp bedding mixed in with it this time. I don't suggest doing that. It did not work. My house smelled awful afterwards. I am going to try and work something out with the American Excelsior company to get the snake bedding type aspen from them in bulk because you can get it really cheap in the places where they sell it. I believe Fleet is the store that normally sells it. We don't have any of those where I live, so I have to order it straight from the source. But this is the hemp bedding that I'm using. It's very expensive and it didn't work very well, and it takes time to mix it in with the pine shavings, so I have decided to drop the hemp, although it is fun watching my little helper mix it. Again, the mixing takes extra time that I don't really need to spend on cleaning mice. Once the bedding is all set, I add in hides and enrichment. For hides, I just use boxes from things like soda can cases and granola bars and stuff, and then I just add toilet paper rolls for enrichment. Now I take out the old bin and put in the new bin into the rack and then move the mice from outside the rack into the rack when I do this. They all have discs, saucers, I guess, and when they're still clean I just move them over, and you'll see later if they're dirty I put them in with the dirty bins. I have my helper back here. She's going to help me move some of the mice over. The dirty bins just go in a pile while I move all the mice over, and then I deal with them all as a group later. So enjoy watching me try to catch mice. The white thing in the background next to the rack with the glowing ring on it is an air purifier, and that has been instrumental in making raising mice palatable. It still smells sometimes, but once I put the clean bin in with all the mice, I put the water nipples back on. I do that bin by bin because if you forget to do that, the mice will die. I do suggest going with a gravity-fed watering system rather than water bottles. It makes life so much easier. I can go away for the weekend and not worry about them running out of water. That was a dirty saucer, so it goes in the dirty pile. My little helper is making sure that the hides are in just the right places. Now keep an eye on that one I just put in the dirty bin. Do you see the mouse I didn't notice? I should probably let you know that I have mouse traps, live mouse traps, all over the house just in case they get out, because there have been escapees. So now all the mice are set. They're clean, they have water, they have clean bedding and hides and enrichment. And now it's time to dump out all of the old bedding. I just dump it all into a contractor bag. I'm lucky enough that my city will literally take anything in trash collection, so I don't have to worry about that. Then I sweep the floor, because always make a mess with the shavings when I put it in the bins, especially when I have a helper. Once the sweeping is done, in this case I had realized I had forgotten to fill the food troughs. You can see that I keep the food in a bucket next to the rack, and I just refill the troughs in the front every time I clean. I check them intermittently to make sure there's food in them. I'm also adding mealworms to each of the bins just as a nutritious snack for the new mamas and for the growing babies. And then I'm checking the water to make sure that it's there. The water was fine. It takes me about another 10 minutes to clean and sanitize the dirty tubs, and then that's it. I'm done. I have 6 breeding trios and 2 grow out tubs, and it took about half an hour for me to do this whole thing. And it never really takes longer than that, except when I have to do a deep clean of the rack where you take it outside and just pressure wash it. So if you're interested in breeding mice, keep in mind that this is something you'll have to do at least once a week. It works better if you do it twice a week. Mice are very smelly creatures, especially if you have multiple males. So that's it. Thanks for taking a look, and we'll see you next time. Bye.